Hello, everyone. This is Gia here with Parent Voices California, and this is our Parent Voices Unfiltered. I am so glad you all could join us today. We have a really great topic to discuss with you, and I'm just waiting for a really lovely guest to join the discussion. And I'm just waiting for them to request to join our live. I hope everyone is doing great today as we all prepare for the holidays. It's already mid-December, and I know we've all had probably a pretty eventful year. Many of us have gotten back to work and are, really trying to navigate through different things post pandemic. And so I am just really happy to have you all here join the live. I'm just saying hello to some people that have joined the live. Thank you all for joining us. And today we have Leanne joining us, and we also have Kisha from Black Californians United for Early Childhood Education. And so we have really great things to talk to them about today. If you have any questions or feedback or comments, please feel free to comment in the chat, and I will also talk with everyone that's commenting in the chat as well. So I'm just gonna wait like a few more minutes, and we will start our live. I hope everyone is staying warm to this winter. We already started getting some rain, and it's getting kind of chilly out, so I hope everyone is staying warm and healthy as we enter this winter season. So as you all know who's joining the live, Parent Voices Unfiltered is a unique space on IG for our parent leaders, organizers, and organizations to talk about the real issues dealing with parenting, advocacy, and community connections. And so we try to really offer this space each month for all of us to come and talk about different things happening or impacting our community and what that means, and us advocating for public policies that really make a difference in families and children's lives each day. So I hope you all can continue to voice your thoughts and your opinions on things that really matter to you. And I am really happy to host the Parent Voices Unfiltered and present different topics each month. And so I also feel free to provide any suggestions or comments about different things that are impacting you or community, and that you would love to talk with us about in the upcoming months as we prepare for different things coming up in the new year. So let's see. I hope Leanne and Kisha, can join us this afternoon. See Leanne. Okay, let's see. Keisha. Hi, Keisha. Oh, I'm trying to let you into the live discussion, but can't. Are you there? Hi.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
So glad for you to join us today. We're waiting for another CN to join the live. Oh, there she is. Leanne, are you there?
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay,
And I love that fabulous color.
thank you.
Leanne, are you able to join? Thank you so much for your patience and just
No problem.
she's unable to join. Okay.
Hello, sister.
Hi,
Hi,
so much for joining us today.
of course.
So yes, so we have really awesome panel discussion today with you two lovely guests, and we have some parents in the chat. So I want them to feel free to post their comments or questions as we go along in our discussion. But if you, I'm just gonna tell everyone today we'll be talking about parent voices and family holidays, which also is including advocacy. And so, Leanne, if you would like to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about your work, family life, and your connections to family.
Yes, totally. Hi, guys. I'm Leanne. I reside here in San Joaquin County. I live here in Stockton. I'm our parent lead of our San Joaquin County Parent Voices chapter. Just getting it all situated and together, but I'm absolutely loving it. I'm a full-time working mother. I work here at our home child care agency in our counties, and it's really amazing. I absolutely love the work that I do. I absolutely love just playing a part in helping make things easier for families. It's truly amazing. But yes, that's me.
Thank you so much, Leanne. We love having you on Parent Voices Unfiltered.
I enjoy being here so much.
And we have another lovely guest. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Keisha Nzewi, and I'm what's come to be known as the woman in charge of Black Californians United for Early Care and Education. And we're a new organization we established just this year, dedicated to making sure that our state, especially, but in the future, more broadly across the country, does not leave out Black children, Black families, and Black childcare workforce in all things to do with our youngest children. I'm also have been connected with Parent Voices for probably about 12 years now, but over two jobs, having the opportunity to stand alongside parent leaders and advocate for all the things that help make children and families whole and well, um, out even issues outside of child care. So yeah, that's
thank you so much for joining us. I am
Sorry for the
yeah, so today we're talking about parent voices, advocacy, and family politics. Um, and so you work with the awesome organization. I'm sorry, that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry,
Kiesha.
right? Yeah. Oh, that's really beautiful. At Black Californians United for ECE, can you tell us a little bit more about your work that you do for the ECE?
So we are literally like officially about 2 months old as far as established as a nonprofit organization, but we started our work more than a year ago when a handful of Black ECE advocates. We all work either in policy or research. We're parents, we are grandparents. None of us are currently childcare providers, but many of us have been in the past. Um, we were and are very frustrated by how our state really ignores Black children. They can name other children or families who have specific or unique needs, but we can never name Black children or Black parents or families or Black childcare providers. It's like it's a scary word. And so we came together about a year ago we started developing our 10-point policy plan, which was modeled after the Black Panther Party 10-point plan, 10-point demands. And we introduced it earlier this year, and we have 3 points for each, 3 demands for children, for families, and for childcare workforce. And we challenged ourselves to think boldly and not to be constrained by what we know, how we know things are or have been. And so we want to address things like the racial wage gap that Black childcare workers make 78 cents less than their counterparts, or the fact that Black parents are often ignored or devalued and disrespected, not engaged in any processes on the local level or the state level. If you think about how often Parent Voices, luckily, deservedly and respectfully, is engaged by the state in seeking out the voices of parents and their experiences, but there is never an attempt to do that specifically for Black parents. And as parents, we feel we can, as Black parents, depending on where you live in the state, especially, feel isolated because while we are actually quite a large number, numbers-wise in this state, we're so spread out that you can find yourself feeling alone or feeling that challenges that you have might be unique to you when in fact you're not. If we all got together, we'd be like, oh, that happened to my child at school or in childcare or whatever. And unbeknownst to you, it's a systemic issue and not just unique to you. So our work as we go into this new year is to really be a voice and bring voices into these spaces that we've typically been shut out of, but also to do a little bit of programming and exciting things for families. We plan to have literal, it feels awful to think of it today because it's so freezing, but we want to have cookouts and invite families and little children and childcare providers, everyone in the community to cookouts so that we can build community wherever we are in the state, learn a little something, advocate for a little something here and there. We are going to launch hard launch in 2024, but start like practicing it and testing it this year. Some boxes for families with young children that have like a toy, a book, things like that, that are culturally affirming for Black families and Black children. Um, and we'll need parents to test those out. So any Black parents here listening, you can be a tester possibly this summer if you have a child, infant to 2 and 3 to 5, so infant, toddler, and preschool age. And with those boxes, we hope to also help engage parents and family members in advocacy and learning about policy and things that impact them as families and why they should care, so that in 2024 we have parents and families who are ready and willing to vote the way that best meets their interests. So that's just a little bit. We have a website, blackece.org. It has all the 10 points.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I'll definitely include the link to your website. I think that is awesome work. I do, with me being a mixed Black woman, I have 3 young children under the age of 5, and so hearing different things such as like culturally affirming, like books or learning tools, I think that's excellent, and I would definitely want to continue to keep in touch with you to see how also those things can benefit, um, you know, children like, my children and also other children in the community. It's really important, I think, post-pandemic, that this space is, it's very healthy and it's cultivating certain things about empowering and moving forward in very healthy ways. Leanne, do you have any thoughts? I'm like really excited to hear about all this work that you're doing. I think it's excellent.
Thank you.
No, I'm actually really excited. I need to look into your guys' website because unfortunately, this is my first time hearing of your guys' organization, and I'd love to get to read through some of your guys' material and resources because I myself, I mean, my child is half Black, so I have been going through things that I've moved him schools. I've dealt with, discrimination with his hair and all kinds of stuff like this. So it's just, I've had to grow and I've had to like recognize what's been happening to my child because I haven't gone through a lot of discrimination in my life. And so having to open my eyes and point out, hey, you don't treat other children this way. Why are you treating my child this way? And I'm really opening my eyes so I can grow in that manner for my family. It's been definitely a journey, but I'm definitely really excited to learn more, like just grow as an individual for my family because I know it's definitely hard, and I've seen how hard it has been for my child. So just fitting in general, just being who he is, and so I hate that like in this day and this generation that things are just so separated still. Whenever I feel like it should have like everyone has needs, and to consider someone's needs more important than anyone else's definitely doesn't make sense to me, and I think a stop has to be put to that.
I know. Oh my goodness. I know this is a really great conversation for parents and organizations to really have different ways that we can support each other and really making sure the optimal goal is that our kids are thriving and they're learning different things about themselves and how to really be great community members. And so those are the goals that I have for my kids. And it sounds like that's what the Black
Black ECE for short.
really supports that and to really highlight that
Mhm.
so the importance of continuing to support things like that. So I thank you both for your comments with that. Are there, so you try to really connect to the community and understand different needs that are going on. Do you have any other interesting information, like as far as like any research that the ECE has done for the early childhood and like the benefits of like understanding this work?
like I said, we are brand new. We are all volunteers at the moment. And on our website, we do have we have resources, but they're more like background information into why we're taking the stance that we make, how we want to be and how we want to show up, and how I would encourage all of us to show up, especially Black advocates in this space, Black parents and family members, and Black childcare providers, is to be unapologetic in our Blackness. I think that, especially since 2020, we have the space and room, and for a lot of us, we've been able to build up the courage to be this way and to name things and to not try to make other people feel comfortable, um, to the detriment of our own well-being and to the detriment of the well-being of our children and our families. And so one thing, it's not a resource, but one piece of advice I have for us as parents especially, is when we're in spaces, wherever, if you're in it like I don't know, in a community meeting or anywhere where you have to interact with people, where it feels like they need to be called out on their racism, which may hurt their feelings, but we should do it because we have had our feelings hurt for centuries, and we continue to be expected to make other people feel comfortable. You mentioned your son's hair. We're expected to make people feel comfortable with our hair, with our bodies, our children, with the way they talk or laugh or run around, or all the things that are completely and developmentally normal for children. But when it's a Black child doing it, it's wrong, and it's seen as disruptive and things like that. And so we can't be afraid to stand up and to call it out. Earlier this year, I got to speak before a whole bunch of Black parents in my school district, and I reflected on the fact so my daughter is 14 now. I have one child, and she's 14, and how up until this last year, whenever the pandemic, let's say, how I paid attention to how I showed up to a parent-teacher conference, or if I had a question in the office, I raise my voice to a higher timbre and make sure that I have the most pleasant as possible expression on my face, because and to make sure that I'm at least to me, I'm talking calmly, even if it may not be an issue that's stressful or anything, just how I present myself because of the judgments that people will make automatically seeing a black woman walk in the door. And that's not cool. I should be able to be myself.
Right.
Our children should be able to be ourselves. So I'm challenging all of us to go in as our authentic selves and let them deal with whatever issues they have in their head going on, because they see you as a Black person coming in, advocating for the children that they love. And that is also what we've challenged ourselves in Black UCE to do when we're in these meetings with powers that be, is to be ourselves and stop making them feel comfortable. And we start with not letting them continue to use the word equity over and over when really they mean racism.
Oh, I know. We could really, we have to have you back on because there's um, topics related to how to really understand systemic barriers, and that's very important with us as advocates, that we're able to understand these things and what they mean for us and how we can help. But not everyone's aware of um, how to understand those things and be able to work through it. So, but I think you're bringing up really great, interesting points. As I'm a mom of four, and so I do try to be really mindful of making sure my kids have that space for themselves to explore the things that they need to understand themselves as individuals and what it means to just to even have a mom like me. That different things like that means you know that they understand my parenting style. They understand how I want to raise them and inform them about different things, which brings me to, different things like the universal pre-K. Like we just had a nice win for the universal pre-K for the kids 3 and 4 years old to go back into the school setting. And I think just highlighting certain things post-pandemic is like really important, that we want our kids to still really be flourishing socially, emotionally, academically, after, experiencing different things like distance learning and quarantine and really, understanding different things that impact social development. So, yeah, I think it's really good for us to continue to talk about these things and support each other. Leanne, do you have any thoughts?
Not currently at this moment. I think topics like this definitely need to be stressed, though, because not enough light is brought to, how much, like, how much, like, the Black race gets shut off from the community, how much you guys aren't taken into consideration, how much, unfortunately, they don't count your guys' votes in a lot of situations. They don't take into consideration, a lot of feelings that you guys may have. And it's not okay, because even with, comparing some of my situations I've gone through with my son, and I go and compare it to, situations with my little brothers and sisters that are, about the same age. I've never gone through such situations with my little brothers and sisters that I have with my son. And that has to change, because they're literally the same ages. They're humans. They deserve, like my son deserves just as much education and just as much quality, supplies as, any of my little other brothers and sisters did. So I don't understand how come some situations get approached in an unfair manner, when it definitely shouldn't be treated that way. And I don't think it will change if we don't keep speaking on it, if we don't keep bringing it in an uncomfortable manner to other people's eyes, if we keep, trying to please people with, with how, if we come more politely and towards some of these situations, it's making them feel comfortable to where it's like, well, they can wait a little longer. We don't have to help them right now because there's other stuff that's more important. No, there's not other things that's more important. All this stuff needs to be taken this as seriously as you would take anything else. And I don't understand how come it hasn't been, So I definitely think we need to keep continuously talking about the racial biases of our communities.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Both of you are really awesome. I think, like, just with my understanding, I think things are changing, and I think they're changing for the better, because we're understanding more about, you know, the importance of understanding, um, even the differences, and how we're like bringing forth, what that actually means, and like taking care of our kids. Like, so I just want to like continue to like encourage you both, like, and like raising these important questions about, being very accepting, and that it's like something to also really embrace, um, and feel really happy about, to, um, you know, understand Black Californians, really want, what's best for early childhood education. And it's not just Black Californians, it's all types of Californians, that care about these issues for their kids and other people's children as well. So I do see some people in the chat. You can feel free to, ask questions, or if you have any comments, that would be great. Um, So with the holidays coming up, um, we have the winter break. So mostly I'll be tending to my beautiful four kids, and I'm just thinking of like nice activities to continue to like encourage their academic um, growth. Do you have like Tisha, do you have any ideas or thoughts of like things you think would be helpful for families during these holidays, for their kids or families? Are you there?
Am I
Oh,
there?
yes. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. I think that I said no academic growth. That's like kids deserve a break as well. They've been going to school, they've been working really hard. Um, and yeah, there is nothing academic. It never has been in my household over any break because it's a break. They deserve a break as well, just as much as we grown-ups deserve a break whenever we take vacation. So none of that. I love I love joy, I love happiness, I love fun. Those are huge values of mine. I love you know, black joy is abundant in my household. And so for my daughter, one, she'll get to sleep a lot. That is her preference. But she's of that age, which is funny because she didn't sleep at all when she was little. um, but I love. I don't know what year I started this, but I love like I have her make a bucket list of what we're gonna do over the break or over summer break even, and what are the things to do. So for instance, over Thanksgiving break, all she wanted was this particular matcha ice cream place that she saw on TikTok in San Francisco. So I had one day free where I had like 2 hours in the middle of the day of nothing happening. And we drove across the Richmond Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, which apparently Golden Gate Bridge has a toll each direction or something, because I got two toll things. I'm like, oh man, little girl, that was quite the investment for this matcha ice cream buffet that you saw on TikTok. But she was so happy. Um, and then I have no idea what she wants to do over a winter break. Oh, well, she loves musical theater. She really wants to see Frozen. I've been trying to get rush tickets every day. I don't know. Every day you can try to get cheap tickets to musicals in San Francisco. And I failed so far, and we have 15 days left to make it happen. So if I can make that happen, we'll make that happen. But I just encourage families to just enjoy each other, and for families to let their children be kids over this time that they have this break, to sleep or not. I am not against TV, to watch all the TV they want or not, to play outside, um, to just, yeah, if there's any little treat activity that you can get into, do that. Go look at, if you like Christmas lights, go look at Christmas lights. That's something I loved doing with my mom growing up into adulthood. My daughter doesn't like doing that, so whatever. um, yeah, just enjoy each other.
Leanne, do you have any suggestions or thoughts about this upcoming winter break, um, for the kids and families? Are you there? Uh-oh. I
We lost her. She'll come back.
still request to come back.
Hmm.
No, I think that is wonderful. I have a team too, so I'm pretty sure she'll try to, get some good rest, and we'll probably do something fun with our family. Um, Try to take it easy. Um, but yeah, I think for for me, I'll probably have my little ones do some different activities, like just to keep them engaged. Since I have twins, it's like a different universe. Like
Yeah.
like how busy I am, and their boys, and so I just really try to like I'm trying to like make sure I stay focused in constructive like activities for them.
I would make cookies, but then we would do cookie decorating, but I'd put down like either newspaper or get a disposable tablecloth on the floor because all the sprinkles end up everywhere that they're not supposed to.
I know, I love baking too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think um, I actually will do some baking over the holidays, and then I hope Leanne joins us back. But
Mm-hmm.
also, Parent Voices, we also have a really great artist who's an advocate for Parent Voices, Francis, who's done really great artwork. And we have this neat coloring page
Oh,
for
cool. Oh, that's beautiful.
color over the winter break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a neat way for them to, the kids to think about how they're even advocates for childcare and
Yeah.
that they need. And so we'll be collecting some of these. We'll actually want to collect all of them. So if you all would like to have your kids color some of these over the break and then speak with your parent leaders and organizers, coming up with some advocacy we will be doing in the next month. That will be awesome. So you can go to parentvoices.org and print out those wonderful coloring pages for your family, and you can color those over the break. And it'll be also part of the advocacy project that we're working on too. Let's see. Then also, I don't know, do you have like any interesting, I don't know, traditions or things you feel happy about sharing with us today? I know we try to really talk about different things that parents, uh, experience or how they think about different topics, and just want to like make sure this is like a really nice space to just be unfiltered and talk about, parenting and advocacy and what that actually means for advocates.
um, I mentioned my daughter's 14, and from the moment she was born in May of 2008, and like starting in June of 2008, she started going to meetings with me, like things around, and she was on my hip, I'd say, until she was around 10. Like she'd come to everything with me. So now she's not interested, but she's extremely aware. She's done Stand for Children Day several times. I think she misses it. Got to do the virtual children's choir last year and the year before, or was it 2 years that you got that there were singers, kid singers? I can't remember, but she was part of that.
It was like
Um,
a few years ago.
yeah,
Oh,
and she like what I feel proud about her is though she's like, I'd rather stay home and watch anime, is that because like as parent, like they pay attention to what we do or what we say or what we think. And when I hear her talk about things randomly or I hear her talk to friends and stuff, she's so politically aware and conscious and progressive in the way that I hope she would grow up to be, very confident in herself as a little Black girl, and very confident in her Blackness. And I feel like that in all the ways as parents as we can be role models in how we speak up for our children and how we speak up for ourselves, and how we speak up for our cultures, whatever culture you may represent, all the different identities you have, and building that confidence and awareness in your children, I think will just it'll make it all right for us when they become adults, and take over. So I encourage that among all families and parents. Let's see. Can I go back to, you mentioned, can I go backwards
Oh
in
yeah,
the conversation? You mentioned pre-K and that, the expanded access to that. And it is a great thing that more families have, as the age group as the age limitations drop on TK at school drop, allowing more families to access it sooner if that's what they prefer. But I want to recognize, one, that TK is part day and part year. It's a school year. But also TK, as it relates to Black children, it's really it's an earlier start for Black children to not have access to Black teachers and Black culture in their learning, and an earlier opportunity for them to be punished for just being themselves. And I say that 75% of early care and education providers in California are not white, whereas 75% of teachers in the K through 12 system are white. And so we, as parents, if you know, you have 4 children, 2 of them little twins, boys. Godspeed is all I can say. Is that once they go to school, you have no choice as to who gets to teach them or care for them. And the point is, when we're 4, there is still a lot of care involved. 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds still might wet their pants. 4-year-olds especially get tired and may still need a nap, but that's not available at school. And in our ECE system, those teachers and those care providers on purpose want to take care of children that young. Whereas most teachers, according to the experts in K through 12, and those who teach the youngest ones, that say TK through 3, have very little experience and didn't go to school specifically to teach young children. They don't have the same early care and education, child development background as the folks who have been caring and educating our children have. They've been doing it forever. None of us went to TK. You and I did not go to TK. We went to a preschool. We had a family childcare home. We were cared for by our grandmothers, our aunties, our mom's best friend, whoever. And then we went to school, and we made our way through to be, the accomplished people we are today. So I just want to recognize, one, childcare, our whole child care system remind people, is based on the enslavement of Black women. We are the original child care providers in this country. We cared for white women's children while white women even stayed home, and we cared for them while the women were at home as we lived with them or cleaned their homes and whatnot until the 70s, and white women went back to work outside of the home. And then we get to the 90s, where we have to have these systems in place that are really meant to make sure that poor children, aka Black children, and then immigrant children, other children of color, children whose families don't speak English, we think that they don't know how to raise children or don't make good judgment in who is giving care, or that these women, my grandmother, who was a family child care provider, my daughter's family child care provider, they can't possibly know how to do this right, and they're not preparing these children well enough to go to kindergarten. And we know that's not true.
Right.
And there's so many reasons that we choose to keep our kids there. And once we get to kindergarten, what they mean by kindergarten readiness, which we see, especially when we see that Black children are not only suspended but expelled, it's about being able to fit. Kindergarten readiness isn't knowing your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, because our children are brilliant. It's about being able to sit still and speak softly and not challenge and really fit into what I would call a white supremacy construct of K through 12 public education that we're forced into. And so
I feel also with what my understanding with I'm sorry, I just wanted to highlight
go ahead.
with the universal pre-K is that, but it's also offering a new framework and understanding like the cultural and linguistic components of understanding like development. And so I think like parents like me and you really feel like really empowered to, really voice these concerns or cultural implications of understanding this. Because I think, like really young, I want them to also like feel, I want them to embrace the different cultural things that they'll understand, and also that what they also understand about themselves is also important. So talking, with the teachers about, you know, different things that are concerning or that they may need more support with is very important, because it's offering that space to really incorporate the best fit for your kids. And fortunately, I do have like a really nice childcare provider that also I think highlights those different cultural needs. So it's just really talking with the providers and the teachers about the different needs that your children are, that they, that should be really highlighted for them to really grow in these different environments. And that's what
Absolutely.
really like, that's what was really challenging for me after pandemic. Is like like post COVID like concerns, and also understanding the importance of like my kids having access to these services.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's like really crazy that this happened, like the pandemic, and then these very it seems like very rich systemic issues are coming up for many of us, and I think it's because we understand what's best for our kids, and so having these public policies that are highlighting family oriented services is what like is going to be great for us all.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It really is. But I really do enjoy talking with you. We have just like 10 more minutes, and we still have like a few more things I wanted to talk about today. So we talked about the coloring page, and then also I wanted to let you all know that Jennifer was so great in helping locate some family resources for the holidays, which I'll post on the IG post for the holidays, like Toys for Tots and Operation Santa, if parents need a little bit more support in getting gifts for their kids. And then also we talked about the EBT benefits. If you're receiving the EBT food benefits, you can also purchase nice like gifts at local stores on like Amazon or Target. Really nice gifts for the kids. So we want to like mention that it's like nice food items, but they're also holiday gifts that you can purchase. And then some other nice resources that we want the parents to have access to. So I'll put that on the IG post. Do you have any other suggestions like
I wish.
holiday resources?
I don't. I did. Funny. Well, so right before we joined the IG, I got a text from Kaiser. So if anybody's a Kaiser member, it like reminded you, like, if you need help with, and it listed all these things, all these like things that not health related, but like life related. If you need help, that Kaiser can connect you because they have resources or connections to community based organizations who can help you out. So that's a tip I just got like less than an hour ago. But yeah, those are all great resources. I would like Google thinking about food and thinking about like with food. I used to work at the food bank. So with food, you can always contact your local food bank. And you should never, my advice, don't wait until you don't have enough food. That's too late. And you don't, when you know you're struggling to have enough food, your CalFresh has run out, whatever, call the food bank then to see where you can go, where a local food pantry is that you can go and get the groceries that you need, and not like there's no need to suffer in that way. Toys and stuff, I don't know. My daughter's so not into toys anymore, so I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I know. teen, I know, I have a teen, so I'm right there. Yeah. I know, I think we've talked about some really great resources and advocacy that you're involved in that I'm really interested in continue to follow up with you on. So um, also Parent Voices, we've been doing some really great things this past year. We finally had our in-person retreat and we did some work on our, public policy recommendations like for child care and, of course we want more child care spots for parents and then we're always trying to really strive to make sure our providers are being reimbursed um, at the optimal maximum rates that they deserve for really taking care of our kids. So those are, certain things that we've been working on in this past year, and that will continue to, move forward in this next upcoming year. Um, and then I just wanted to mention that we also will be having some chapter meetings, and we'll have that. They sent out a newsletter or email about Christmas holiday party. So, we're just really trying to do different things with our parents, make sure that they know that we're here to support and that, there's things that we're still working on to make sure overall that their needs are being met. Um, do you want to share any upcoming things? I know you have you talked about your um, your project that you guys are taking on for the boxes, the cultural farming items, and what what else would you like to share about upcoming work that you are working on?
The one other thing that people could possibly help with is we're going to be recruiting Black childcare providers to speak up about wages, about childcare workforce wages, and not just subsidy, just the wages that Black childcare workers earn, no matter how they're paid. And so we're going to develop a cohort of advocates. They'll get training. They'll be paid for all of their time. And will it's hard to describe right now. It's going to be awesome, and I need to just find Black folks. So if anyone has a Black provider that they love and would want to recommend, who they think would love to speak up about themselves and their experiences and why they care for children and what it's like to live off of the wages that they are paid or that they earn in their own family childcare business, if it's that way, then they should be sent our way. Our email at Black ECE, the easiest email, so I can just say it, is contact@blackece.org if anyone has any recommendations.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're doing awesome work. And Parent Voices is so happy to have you on our Unfiltered IG Live. And just wanted to do a couple more updates for the next year that we have, the January 10th governor's budget. And we're also doing our Giving Tuesday for this month of December. So just really nice things to think about in our advocacy as we support Parent Voices and the work to gain affordable and quality child care for all Californians. And just, if you have any thoughts or suggestions, you can always reach out to me, Gia. And I am so happy that you joined us today. We have
Thank you for having
another
me.
hour about different things, but we would love to have you back on the G Live, and so we'll keep in touch definitely. I'll want to hear more about the ECE's work in the upcoming year. So thank you so much, and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all your great work. And I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And until next month, this is Gia, and this is Parent Voices Unfiltered. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.